Okay, this is part one of Geronimo Stilton. Merry Christmas, Geronimo. It's probably gonna be a long one. Merry Christmas, Geronimo. It was the day before Christmas. My alarm clock went off that morning with a loud squeak. I groaned. I hate getting up in the morning, especially when it's so cold outside. I stared out my window, and that's when I saw them. Snowflakes. Tiny, fluffy white snowflakes. Just like slivers of grated cheese. I clapped my paws so happily. I just loved the snow. I raced to the telephone to call Benjamin. He's my favorite nephew. I had to spend the morning at the office, I told Benjamin, but we should go to the park in the afternoon. We can build a snow mouse. I told Benjamin to wear lots of warm clothes. It was cold outside. Yeah, it was cold outside, of course. I had dressed warmly too. Here's what I put on. 1. A thermal undershirt plus thermal long johns. 2. Two turtlenecks, 3 heavy Kerfoot sweaters. 3. A pair of ski pants. 4. A down-filled parka with extra padding. 5. A long wool scarf. 6. A pair of fleecy earmuffs and a matching hat. 7. A pair of waterproof fur-lined gloves. And 10 pairs of extra long socks plus a pair of snow boots. I guess you can tell I don't like to be cold. But now I was feeling nice and warm. In fact, I might have been feeling a little too warm. It was hot as an oven at the Greasy Rat Cafe. Still, I thought about wearing ski goggles just in case, but I had to put on so many layers it took 10 minutes to try them on. Before I left my mouse hole, I looked around carefully. I had been decorating all week. That's because I was having a Christmas Eve dinner at my place. It was a tradition. Every year I invited all my relatives and friends, my neighbors, my male mouse, the mouse who cuts my fur, and lots of other rodents to my house. Yes, I guess you could say almost half town spent Christmas Eve with yours truly. It's a lot of work getting ready for a party, especially because I'm a very particular mouse. I like everything to be absolutely perfect. I had bought a new welcome rat mat for the entrance. It showed a picture of Santa Mouse on his sleigh. On my front door, I hung a wreath with a yellow bow, and I made a banner that hung above my living room door and said, "Merry Christmas, dear mouse friends." Green garlands with holly berries spruced up my living room, and of course, I had a Christmas tree. This year, I had found the most beautiful fir tree. It was the perfect shape. It was the perfect size, and it still had its roots. That's right. When Christmas was over, I could plant it in my garden, but now it was decorated with plastic cheese slices. I love plants. I guess that's because I have a green paw. I can grow anything. I can grow tomatoes, I can grow carrots. Now only if I could find a plant that grows cheese slices. I would never stop. I would never have to go to the shop and nibble again. Oh well, maybe someday. Hope you like it here, I whispered to my tree. Then I patted a branch. Do you talk to plants? I do. I think it makes them happy, but don't tell anyone. They might think I'm short a few whiskers. Near the tree, I set up a special musical ornament. It was a present from my great grandma, Tanglefur. It had 5 golden angels and red candles in the middle. It played the Frosty. It played Frosty the Snow Mouse when I wound it up. Now I lit the candle to see how it looked. I grinned. It was perfect. Next, I opened the fridge. On a golden plate sat a cheese-filled gingerbread house. It was covered in icing and decorated with little plastic mice. Some were Some were skiing, some were building the snow mice. It was a real masterpiece. I bought it from Sugar Furs, the best gourmet sweet shop in New Mouse City. The candy and cookies were super expensive, but they were worth it. Plus, I like to treat myself on Christmas. I read the evening's menu to myself. Fresh cheese platter, crepes with melted cheddar, Swiss cheese souffle, mozzarella mashed potatoes, parmesan pie, gourmet cheesy chews. Finally, I checked out my bedroom. My closet was bursting with gifts. Boxes of all shapes and sizes filled the shelves. At the bottom of the pile lay three very special gifts. One of them was from my sister, Thea. She is the special correspondent to the Rodents Gazette. It was the latest high-tech company camera from my new nephew Benjamin. I had bought a yellow snowsuit he could wear. He could wear it while skiing. He would just look like a piece of Swiss cheese sliding down the mountain. For my cousin Trap, I had bought a new cookbook. It was written by one of New Mouse City's most famous chefs, Soy La Paz. It was called From My Paws to Yours, Recipes to Squeak About. I chuckled, no doubt about it. This was going to be a first rat Christmas. At last I was ready to head off to the office. Oops, I just remembered. I forgot to introduce myself. I guess I've gotten too much cheese on the brain. Anyway, my name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I am a publisher and writer. I run a newspaper called the Rodents Gazette. It's the most popular paper on Mouse Island. Maybe you already know me. I don't want to boast, but here in New Mouse City, I'm fairly well known. Lots of mice have read my funny tales of adventure. Let's see, where was I? Oh yes, I was on my way to the office. Even though I was dressed warmly, I was still cold. I had mouse bumps everywhere. I wrapped my scarf around my whiskers to keep them from freezing. Still, I wasn't gonna let the weather get me down. I loved the holiday season. I smiled under my scarf. New Mouse City looked so beautiful under a blanket of snow. The tall buildings sparkled with shiny icicles, and all the roads were covered with fluffy white powder. Rodents of every size, shape, and color rushed here and there. Many carried packages and gifts for their loved ones. I spotted a rodent dressed as Santa Mouse in front of a department store. He was ringing a golden bell. "Merry Christmas to all," he squeaked to the rodents passing by. On one street corner stood a group of young mice. They were singing Christmas carols. I wanted to join in, but I didn't. My sister Thea tells me I have a terrible singing voice. I think I sound great, but just in case, I'll keep my mouth shut. I didn't want to spoil the moment. Next, I passed by one of New Mouse City's best gourmet cheese shops, Better Cheddar and Beyond. I sniffed the air. It smelled heavenly. I peeked inside. Beautifully arranged were all of those yummy cheeses: warm orange American, holy Swiss, milk white mozzarella. You do not need any of those cheeses, remember? You were on a diet, a little voice inside my head squeaked. I nodded, but before I could leave, I heard another little voice. "It's Christmas, Geronimo." This one said, Go and treat yourself." 2 seconds later, I was in the store drooling over 2 giant gift-wrapped baskets of cheese. "I'll take them both," I told the shopper. "Please deliver them to 8 Mousefield Lane." I left before any of the other voices would return to yell at me. As I walked past the toy shop, I noticed an enormous stuffed cat in the window. Benjamin would love it, I thought. I decided it would be okay to buy another present for him. After all, he is my favorite nephew. The cat was so big, I had it delivered to my mouse hole. Now I'll have two fabulous surprises coming in the mail. The cheese and Benjamin's present. Yes, this was going to be one extra special Christmas. I think I must stop it there for this one.